Imagine a day unlike any other. Birds fall silent, the wind dies down, the world around you seems to hold its breath, as if anticipating something monumental. The usual sounds of nature, the rustling of leaves, the chirping of insects, all come to an eerie halt. It's as if time itself has paused. The very air feels strange, heavy. A dense fog rolls in, obscuring your vision and adding to the sense of unease. Every breath you take feels thick, laden with an unspoken tension. The atmosphere is charged, almost electric, as if the world is on the brink of a revelation. And then, the impossible happens. The Earth stops spinning. In an instant, the familiar rhythm of our planet's rotation ceases. The world, as we know it, is thrown into chaos. The sudden halt sends shockwaves through the very fabric of our existence. This is not just a fantasy, it's a scientific thought experiment, a what-if scenario that helps us understand our planet better. Scientists and researchers use these hypothetical situations to explore the limits of our knowledge and to prepare for the unexpected. By imagining the unimaginable, we gain insights into the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth. If the Earth were to suddenly stop rotating, the consequences would be catastrophic, reshaping our world in unimaginable ways. The sudden cessation of movement would unleash forces beyond our control, triggering natural disasters on an unprecedented scale. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions would become commonplace, altering the landscape and the lives of those who inhabit it. The most immediate change would be the disruption of day and night. Our 24-hour cycle, which governs so much of our daily lives, would be thrown into disarray. The familiar pattern of sunrise and sunset would be replaced by a new, unsettling reality. No longer would the Earth spin on its axis, bringing the sun's warmth to different parts of the globe. The rotation that we take for granted, that gives us our days and nights, would be no more. The very concept of time would be altered, leaving us to adapt to a world that no longer follows the rules we have always known. Instead, one side of the Earth would be plunged into perpetual darkness, while the other would face the sun's glare for 6 long months at a time. This stark division would create extreme conditions, with one hemisphere enduring freezing cold and the other scorching heat. The impact on ecosystems, weather patterns, and human life would be profound, challenging our very survival on this planet. Imagine a day that lasts an entire year. A single rotation of the Earth taking 365 days to complete. That's what would happen if the Earth stopped spinning. The planet would be locked in a perpetual state of day on one side and night on the other. The side facing the sun would bake in a continuous summer, with temperatures soaring to unbearable levels, while the side facing away would freeze in an endless winter, plunging into darkness and extreme cold. This dramatic shift in day and night would have a devastating impact on life as we know it. The environment would become hostile and uninhabitable. Plants, relying on the sun's energy for photosynthesis, would wither and die in the darkness. Without sunlight, they cannot produce the food they need to survive. Animals, dependent on plants for food, would struggle to survive. Herbivores would face starvation, and in turn, carnivores would find their prey scarce. The lack of a regular day-night cycle would also disrupt the delicate balance of Earth's ecosystems. The intricate web of life would be thrown into chaos. Many animals rely on this cycle for migration, hibernation, and reproduction. Birds would lose their way, unable to navigate without the familiar patterns of day and night. Without it, their survival would be in jeopardy. The natural rhythms that guide their lives would be lost, but the consequences of Earth's standstill wouldn't end there. The planet's geological activity would be affected as well. The very air we breathe, the oceans that surround us, even the land beneath our feet would be transformed. Weather patterns would become unpredictable, leading to extreme storms and natural disasters. The atmosphere would stagnate, causing pollution to build up and air quality to deteriorate. The oceans, no longer driven by the rotation of the Earth, would see their currents disrupted, affecting marine life and global climate. The land itself would shift and crack under the strain of a motionless planet, leading to increased seismic activity and volcanic eruptions. The world as we know it would be irrevocably changed, a stark reminder of the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth. With one side of the Earth facing the sun for 6 months straight, temperatures would soar to unimaginable heights. The oceans would boil, the land would bake, and the air would become unbearably hot and dry. On the dark side of the Earth, the opposite would occur. Temperatures would plummet to Arctic levels, freezing the land and oceans solid. The air would become frigid and still, devoid of any warmth or moisture. This extreme temperature difference between the two sides of the Earth would create unimaginable winds. Air, heated on the sunlit side, would rise and rush towards the colder, darker side, creating superstorms of unprecedented fury. Imagine hurricanes that make our worst storms look like gentle breezes. That's what we could expect if the Earth stopped spinning. The massive temperature differences between the day and night sides would fuel winds of unimaginable power, creating superstorms that could circle the globe. But the changes wouldn't stop there. The oceans, no longer held in place by the centrifugal force of Earth's rotation, would migrate towards the poles. This would leave a massive landmass around the equator, ringed by two vast oceans. The shifting of the oceans would have a devastating impact on coastal regions, flooding some areas and leaving others high and dry. Entire ecosystems would be destroyed, and countless species would be lost. Section 5. Life underground. Faced with such catastrophic changes, how could humanity hope to survive? The answer might lie beneath our feet, in the relative safety of underground shelters. Deep underground, insulated from the extreme temperatures and violent storms raging on the surface, we might be able to create a semblance of our former lives, but life underground would be a far cry from the world we once knew. We would need to find ways to grow food, generate energy, and recycle our resources in this confined environment. We would also need to adapt to the psychological challenges of living in a world without sunlight or open skies. Section 6. The hunt for food. With the surface world rendered uninhabitable, finding food would be one of the biggest challenges for surviving humans. The once fertile lands are now barren, and the cities that once bustled with life are now desolate and empty. The traditional methods of obtaining food, such as farming and hunting, are no longer viable options. Traditional agriculture would be impossible, and we would need to find alternative sources of sustenance. The soil is contaminated, and the climate is too harsh for conventional crops to grow. We would have to turn to innovative and unconventional methods to ensure our survival. One possibility would be to cultivate mushrooms and other fungi that can grow in darkness. These organisms do not require sunlight and can thrive in controlled environments. By setting up underground farms with artificial lighting, we could produce a steady supply of nutritious fungi. We could also raise insects as a protein source, as they are highly adaptable and require relatively little space. Insects such as crickets, mealworms, and black soldier fly larvae are rich in protein and can be farmed efficiently. They can be incorporated into various dishes, providing a sustainable and nutritious food source. Hydroponics, the practice of growing plants in nutrient-rich water without soil, could also be used to cultivate certain fruits and vegetables. This method allows for precise control over the growing conditions, ensuring optimal growth and yield. By utilizing vertical farming techniques, we could maximize the use of limited space and produce a variety of crops year-round. However, we would need to find ways to generate enough energy to power these systems. Renewable energy sources such as solar panels and wind turbines could be harnessed to provide the necessary electricity. Additionally, innovative energy storage solutions would be essential to ensure a consistent power supply. The search for food would be a constant struggle, and we would need to use all our ingenuity and resourcefulness to survive. Foraging for edible plants, developing new farming techniques, and collaborating with others would be crucial. In this harsh new world, adaptability and innovation would be the keys to ensuring our continued existence. Section 7. Adapting to the dark. Living underground would mean adapting to a life without natural light. Our circadian rhythms, the internal clocks that regulate our sleep-wake cycles, would be thrown into disarray. To combat this, we would need to create artificial light sources that mimic the spectrum of sunlight. This would be crucial for maintaining our physical and mental health. We might also develop new technologies to help us navigate and communicate in the darkness. Perhaps we would rely on echolocation, like bats, or develop enhanced senses of touch and smell. Life in the dark would be a constant challenge, but humans are adaptable creatures. We might be surprised at our ability to thrive in even the most challenging environments. Section 8. The evolution of life. If life on Earth were to survive the standstill, it would be forced to evolve in radical ways. Plants might develop the ability to photosynthesize under artificial light, while animals might develop enhanced senses to navigate the darkness. New species adapted to the extreme conditions of a stationary Earth might emerge. Perhaps creatures that can withstand both scorching heat and freezing cold, or animals that can survive for months without food or water. The evolution of life would be a fascinating and unpredictable process. It's impossible to say for sure what new forms of life might emerge, but one thing is certain: life finds a way. Section 9. The importance of spin. The hypothetical scenario of Earth stopping its spin highlights the crucial role rotation plays in making our planet habitable. It's easy to take the regular cycle of day and night, the seasons and the stable climate for granted. But these are all products of Earth's rotation. Without it, our planet would be a vastly different place, hostile to life as we know it. The next time you watch the sunrise or feel the warmth of the sun on your face, take a moment to appreciate the delicate balance of our planet and the vital role that rotation plays in our existence. Section 10. A universe of possibilities. While the scenario of Earth stopping its spin is highly unlikely, it serves as a reminder of the vastness and mystery of the universe we inhabit. Our planet is but a tiny speck in the grand scheme of things, and there is still so much we don't know. By exploring hypothetical scenarios like this, we can deepen our understanding of our own planet and appreciate the delicate balance of factors that make life on Earth possible. And who knows?